Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Research Guild Opportunities um, kind of workshop or presentation, I should rather say. Um, this is meant to be an introduction for members in the Research Guild to find or to claim and contribute to the guild and kind of see the opportunities that there are to participate and earn bank over the course of season 4. So right now, as you can see, we have the general Notion page of the Research Guild, and this is meant for members that have done the get started in the Research Guild section, that are like finished with that have taken the member intake form. And this mainly splits up, I believe, into 3 different opportunities to contribute. And the first one I would like to introduce is to contribute by claiming bounties in our weekly syncs. So we in the Research Guild currently have one weekly sync that is for sure taking place, and that's the guild sync for European and African friendly time kind of people. Here you can see the agenda for yesterday's meeting with all the important informations, the date, this season, which is taking place. Then it's a guild sync, that's always the type, and now it's completed. I was the speaker, and Wales and Kutubu were the note takers, and you can see we had a bunch of people joining, and it was a very nice call with some fresh updates. And in every guild sync, at the bottom, you should see a section with bounties and grants require guild proposals. So these are actually 2 different options. Let's go through the bounties. So the first one is a bounty for being the speaker during the meeting. For those of you that attended yesterday and saw how I kind of went through the meeting, it's kind of standardized, but still you should be aware of what's coming next. So we always have new members introduction, then we have updates and announcements, and then we go through the guild role holder updates. So there's the Northwind role with Ernest as the governance and operations role holder. Think Decade as responsible for projects and projects intake. Homie for kind of member relations. That's the Southwind role. And Jarvis James for building relationships across the DAO. As you see, it's presented in the job board here as well. So over the course of season 3, for example, Jarvis managed to, I think together with Homie, to set up a Crypto Sapiens research support in Crypto Sapiens. And this is a great opportunity for research guild members to contribute to other areas in the DAO, which are based on research, like by doing research, basically. And same goes for the Bankless Africa support working group. We should actually add this. We should add the Bankless Africa research support here too, because it's another opportunity for us, for the Research Guild members, to help Bankless Africa. And I will add Mort, because Mort is it's kind of the person to contact. Oops. And there's when it comes to bounty, I believe the research support working group has 45,000 bank over the course of season 4 to distribute, right, Ernest?
That is correct.
Okay, 45K.
Yep. And in the Bankless, essentially, for those folks, for a little background, is we've discovered that most research happens outside the guild, like in projects wherever people are creating them. In the other guilds, they're all doing research to develop their own talent within the guild or to provide services. So with our bounty system and kind of how we set up work streams is we want to incentivize people to contribute to the research wherever it's being done. And then the research guild is here to help researchers become better researchers and to also open up connections between other work streams in the DAO that's doing research. So for example, the Crypto Sapiens podcast, they're a media node and they set up a lot of processes that other media nodes throughout the DAO, right? 18 other languages can all adopt. And so Crypto Sapiens has a very good research work stream. It's compensated. There's like clear descriptions in the roles, and there's a timeline, and I believe they have they're getting sponsorships and stuff like that. So they're almost a mature media node. And then any other media node potentially could have the same research work stream. So it's a really good opportunity to learn the work stream and research in Crypto Sapiens so that you can bring that knowledge, to Crypto Sapiens, but also to other media nodes. Likewise, Bankless Africa is a media node. And so they're also setting up a work stream for research for their social media content, whether it's writing articles or podcasts or whatever. And so we want to support as Research Guild that Bankless Africa research work stream. And in Bankless Africa, they also do research for a seasonal research journal. And so we don't need to do that research in the guild and tell them how to do their research. We just want to find people, develop people's talent so that we can support Crypto Sapiens, Bankless Africa, Bankless Consulting, the GovBot project, any work stream that we identify in other areas of the DAO. And then, of course, members may have their own research ideas and projects within the guild, and the bounties are there to kind of facilitate that early incentives prior to a project getting funded and having their own scope squad.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good way, as Ernest has introduced, the verbal updates to projects, which is if you're involved in one project and want to give an update on a weekly sync, you get 300 bang for that. If you, for example, can't attend the meeting but still want to give an update, you can kindly do so by giving a written update and get compensated 200 bang for that. And the process would be that you will, for example, for the written update, that you will is it actually I have never given it. Is it a dog, or do I simply have to write all the important things here down so the speaker can walk the whole members through it?
Yeah, so if you'll note, if you scroll up just a little bit, we usually have a section where basically you just provide your written update to the meeting agenda. So it would be right if you scroll up just a little bit more, Sanad. So you'll either have a project that has gone through intake, like a regular interest group, or it hasn't gone through intake. And then so if you're going to give consistent reports, we just give you, a toggle here, and you kind of just move it up so that the people running the meeting know that it's something to review. And if you click the toggles, you can kind of see other people's updates. And
Okay.
yeah, and it just has to be a couple paragraphs. We're wanting substantial updates. So I recommend, if people want to give updates about a project, they try to do it every other week. If
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And,
So
and
is okay. Is there a way I could know the kind of research, or is there a way a place I could go to get these research topics I can work on? How do I know what to work on, what to research on, so I can bring back a report?
we do have all of that. So Research Guild is completely different than any of the other guilds for the most part in how we incentivize research work. And so most of the research opportunities are outside the guild, and we have a stream to kind of connect you, that the job opportunities, we have a work stream to connect you to those projects outside. And what Sanad is showing you now is inside the guild, members who have research projects or ideas start as an interest group. And so all of these interest groups that are listed are potential work streams with people, and these work streams, they're incentivized through our bounty system. As much as possible, the Research Guild does as little work as possible for the role holders, but incentivizes members to commit to different action items. And these are listed on the job opportunities table and this interest group list.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty good. And one thing that I can say when it comes to interest groups is that we have quite a few. Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
So this page is for interest groups. Once these interest groups become work groups and they've gone through the intake process, they go into our database. So one of the things that the East Wind role is responsible for is helping interest groups become actual projects. And the way that happens is the interest group essentially needs a scope squad, and then they need a clear purpose, and then they need to start developing deliverables within their interest group. And if you,
Okay.
Synod, go back to the Get Involved page, the matrix, if from the main Research Guild page, we have a project by status. And if you're in the matrix, then that just means that you're an interest group that has gone through the intake process. And so you have a scope squad, you have some deliverables. But these projects, so there's two places you can go if you're looking, three places you can go if you're looking for work. You can go to an interest group and start planning and developing a project. You can go to projects by status and find the different projects that have gone through the intake process, or you can go to the interest group page, the matrix, or the job opportunities table.
Okay.
And we're still, we have some updating in the notions to do to make this a little easier to like understand. And the main reason is that we basically 2 seasons ago started over as a guild, and so we've really just been building out the guild for the last 4 months, at the beginning of this year. So some things like this are a little confusing, but with y'all's feedback And as we get people plugged into these work streams, we'll be able to make this a little bit smoother. So from the beginning of the Notions, we essentially have two places that you can go. If you're brand new, you go to Get Started, and once you're onboarded as a member, you go to step 2, which is getting to work on some work streams, attending some meetings. And once you've gotten started with the guild, then you'll always go to Get Involved with the guild. And the Get Involved with the guild has all the different, and the easiest way to get involved with a project is to attend the weekly syncs. And then when people give updates, they're usually always also asking for more people on those projects.
Okay.
The threads in Research General Chatter are the interest groups. The threads in the working groups are groups that have gone through the intake process. And then in Research Threads, we have a couple just ongoing projects. They're very slow paced. They're kind of like, just perpetual projects. And each of these groups have stewards that are developing the work stream in the thread. And it's kind of up to those people or that group of people in that thread to kind of self-organize around the topic of that thread.